letting go of the past, we just gotta start with understanding that nobody is perfect and that everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has wished that they could go back and redo something that they've done, but the reality is that we just can't. All we could do is just move forward.
The betrayal was real. For them to paint me as a true villain, that hit me. It made me really think. They betrayed me not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but they betrayed me 5 times.
I was there for people, and I get betrayed. You try to say that I took the biggest L. Nah, I didn't took the biggest L. I just came from the bottom and worked my way up to the top. I had to put my foot down and work every single day to get what the fuck I am today. I hate when people always think it's easy. It's not easy out here. You guys never had a life lesson, or y'all never hit rock bottom to experience. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Joy, a.k.a. the Enforcer. We got your boy, Shmir, a.k.a. the Wiseman. We got the honorary Mystic, David. And then we got the boy, Jamonte, a.k.a. the Right-Hand Man. And last but not least, the guy that formed the scoop here to finish the story, the High Chief himself, Oscar. We are
the Bloodline Podcast.
Back for episode 2.
Number 2.
Happy February and happy Valentine's Day. Well, just passed.
Yeah, hope y'all had a great Valentine's. You know.
Yep. So today in this episode, we're going to be talking about letting go of the past, letting go of bad situations, toxic situations, bad memories, heartache, basically anything you regret from your past. Letting go of the past, I feel like you just got to start with understanding that nobody is perfect and that everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has wished that they could go back and redo something that they've done, or that they wish that they could go back and redo a choice that they've made. But the reality is that we just can't. All we could do is just move forward.
Yeah, that's true. We can't. Once you make a decision, you got to make sure that that's the right decision, because it has a chain reaction later on, you know, in your life. There's moments that you wish that you can fix, but you can't. You just got to keep on moving on with that decision that you make, and you just got to make sure that you make the right choices after, you know. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's things in the past that you do make mistakes, and you got to just work on it, you know. But it's something for you to learn about it.
Mistakes make us human. You're supposed to learn from those mistakes, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, ergo, literally what I just did was a fuck up, a mistake. But it's all right. Like, I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to be better at it next time.
There you go, prime example.
But you're human, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
everybody's going to make mistakes, you know?
Yeah.
The past is the past for a reason. You just gotta just let it go and keep it pushing. Because if you live in the past, you're going to let it literally drag you back.
Yeah. You got to live in the now. You know?
Sir.
Can't live in the past, because if you live in the past, then you're not moving forward.
Exactly.
You know?
I think of the past as like a door that needs to be closed and closed forever, because a new one's opening up for you. I look at the new door that's opening up as living in the moment, the present, living in the now, just like how y'all both said from the last episode, and then you're just saying it right now.
Yeah.
Live in the now.
I like how you just said that. It's basically a door was closed and you're just supposed to move forward, you know. It is a door, you know, where some people keep on entering, you know, because it's so hard to let it go. And it's all right, you know, but you want to worry about the now, because the past can't really help you for right now. The past is the past. You just leave it there, you know. You got a new journey what's ahead of you, and just keep on moving forward.
If you continue to live in the past, are you going to ever really grow? Think about that.
That's true.
Yeah. The same thing with the door. It's like people always come in and out your life, but you don't always have the strength to lock the door and keep them out of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. That is true.
I like that.
You know, you don't have the key for that door. Yeah, your past could just creep up and just open the door and see what's happening right now, you know. You can't do nothing about it. But the thing is, what you could do is just look what's in front of you, what you tried to do, you know. let your past stay to the side. Worry about what's right now. You cannot let your past hold you for what you want to do for right now. You got so many plans that you want to do, but you let the past hold on to you. You can't. The past got to stay in the past. You got to worry about the now, and you got to do what you need to do what's right now. Wherever you have to do it. But don't worry about the past, because the past is not going to help you to do what you're trying to do now. You know?
Well, I'll say even the situation is like, excuse me, that's like really serious, that you always have like, I wish I could fix this, or, you know, I should have did this. You're always going to have like back of your head, like, man, I know I shouldn't did that, but there's going to be sometimes you may just forget about it completely, or just take day after day, maybe even weeks, maybe possibly a year for you to like forget about it. You know, it's hard, but you're gonna be okay. You know, it just takes time, just trying to read a book or, you know, do something that it will definitely will come better. And, you know, just there's sometimes I always have thoughts that, man, I know like I fucked up, but I just didn't think it was, you know, the right decision. But it's a learning lesson, you know. There's always lessons, there's always mistakes in life in this world, but, you know, if you keep making that same mistake over and over, I don't know if it's like the best for you to like worry about yourself or be distant from people, you know. So I just think it's tough, you know. Not a lot of people think it's tough to forget about it. They'll just keep doing the same thing over and over, and then they don't learn. They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this shit is easier said than done. It's definitely a lot harder to actually do it than just saying it.
Think about it like an example, being in like a relationship with someone that you know is toxic, you know. It's kind of hard. Like everyone wants to tell you like, you know, oh, break up with them, da da da. It's a lot harder. It's easier said than done because, you know, you have an attachment to someone. You can't just like easily be like, all right, get rid of it. It's something that's like grown on you. It's like it's like a Band-Aid that it's hard to come off your skin. It's stuck. You're gonna do it eventually, but you gotta take your time, do it slowly, and do it right.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. It's basically like, you know, you're attached to that person and it's gonna be hard to let go of them. Even though that their relationship is toxic, but you're not really paying attention to the toxic part. You're paying attention to the moments that you have with that person. You know, the good ones, you know. Yes, you got the bad ones, but you worried about the good ones. Because you see in those moments where are good, that's what's really keeping you holding on to that person, you know. But you got to remember, if the relationship is toxic, then you might have to take that exit to the left to let go of it. I know it's not going to be easy, but you're going to have to try to. Because then if you keep yourself in that toxic relationship, then you're just going to spiral yourself down. And then you're going to come out and turn yourself to be negative towards people then, you know, and you don't want that. You know, you want to be in a relationship where it's healthy and you can actually be happy about your partner, you know. You don't want to be in a toxic one because then you're worried about what's going to happen next, or you're worried about what is this person doing behind my back, and all this other stuff was toxic. And it's like, you don't need that, you know. But sometimes you run into people like that, you know. But I understand that it's hard to like try to let go, you know, because you got so much of an attachment to them.
I look at like people's energy as like radiation. You know, you could absorb it, and then you could also output it. You could absorb the negative energy that people have. Like for example, if you're being really negative to me, right, I could absorb your negative energy and I could also like output it to somebody else. It's really ugly. And it could also happen with positive energy. You know, you could be really positive to me and I'll be like, you know, I feel really good today. Let me be nice to the next person. It's literally a back and forth effect. It's literally a chain reaction.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. You know, it is a chain reaction because you could bring your negative energy to someone else who's having a positive kind of energy, you know, and you could change that around for them. And then now they doing, you know, they having a negative energy, you know, but what can you do, you know?
You just got to be able to move forward. That's what you can do.
Exactly. And you
Don't
learn
look-
from it, basically.
You never look back. Close that door. Don't look back.
Exactly.
I feel like with moving on comes forgiveness, but not for what I mean, not for forgiving what you did, but understanding that what you did can't be changed, and now you have to just live with what was done. So you're forgiving yourself.
Yeah. You're right.
Don't let your mistakes though, like don't let them define you.
Right.
You can allow your mistakes to morph you into a better individual. Right?
True. And try to not make the same ones,
Yeah.
especially with new people you're trying to, encounter with. You don't want to come out and do that same mistake to them too,
New people or just like doing anything in general.
Yeah.
Like you think of it as something as simple as, okay. When I was a kid, I was trying to change the curtain rods in my house, and I was standing on like a stool, but it was very unbalanced. I ended up falling trying to do it, but it's like that was a mistake. I'm like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't do that. Let me try a different approach, and I did something else that was safer.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep making those same mistakes over and over again. Otherwise, are you really learning?
But
I
then
think
that's
not.
what you learn from it,
Yeah, that's true.
You got to make mistakes to learn from them, That's how it is in life. If you don't make a mistake, then you're not going to learn from it. You're not going to know what to do,
As I've said before, I look at it as motivation to be doing better.
Exactly.
It's a setback, but like I don't really look at it as all as a negatives. I just look at it as like, you know what? Do better.
Yeah.
Don't be sorry. Do better.
I think I'm gonna use a real life experience about letting go of the past. This has dawned on me for a while, and I didn't know how to let it go, and I didn't know how to soak it in and really, forget about it. But at one point there was somebody very close with me, and they were close with, the others that are here with me right now. I got tired of, the constant, back and forth arguments, and, they disappear for a little bit and then they come back, and, when they came back, it was like nothing ever happened. And, it was an ongoing situation. My mistake was obviously, the constant forgiveness of always coming back. But again, like the guys have said, you learn from it. You live and you learn. But it's just how everything unfolded, and, Javante has even said this, we're all painted as an enemy in some shape or form to somebody. And to basically just betray me, not just me, but just everyone else that was here, to betray us, it was like a big smack in the face. They said like we were never there. They said that we never took the time. So the betrayal was real. And, for them to paint me as a true villain, it hit me. It made me really think, they always wanted to do something that we never wanted to do. So just because not only was I just looking out for myself, but looking out for the others' interests as well, I was the villain. You know, they betrayed me not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but they betrayed me 5 times. And I took the benefit of the doubt and always forgave. They told me like I had no heart. They told me like I never cared about anyone that was around me. But fun fact, I do care about the people around me. It's just you really have to give somebody the chance to see that you care. You know, I've been fighting with this for like a whole year. And it's just been fucking embedded into my brain, and it's just always been so hard to just forget about it. But me speaking about this will give me my closure and say, you know what, this chapter is done. I won't have to think about this anymore. I won't have to bring it up. I won't have to mention it. The thought of them will not destroy the aura that I have. The thought of them will not take me off my course. The thought of them will not determine who they think I am. The thought of them will not make me say my story is finished now. They were the one that quit. They were the one that gave up. They were the one that said this wasn't possible. It just bothers me because not only was I just smacked in the face, you were smacked in the face, they were smacked in the face. You know, it infuriates me. But it's alright. Because where I am, I know I'm better. Your negativity will not define my confidence. Your negativity will not conquer of when I say I'm the greatest of all time in my own ways. Because in my story, in my book, I am the greatest of all time in my way. I don't care how someone sees me or how they view me. The fear of judgment is over. And it's just time to really it's time for me to move on and forget. And now me speaking of this, I know I finally will have my closure. Because it won't dwell on me. It won't bother me anymore. But them, you know, giving up, fine. Them, you know, having their own mindset for it, it's fine. Even talking about, you know, my own past. Try to use that to manipulate me so I can come back. And trying to find their way back. And definitely didn't work with the, you know, the things that they said. And the one thing that really did set it off is when you mention about, you know, my uncle. That is no longer here. And that I look up to still every day, no matter what, 24/7. Because he was the one that gave me strength and gave me power. So let my story of forgetting the past, at least from a person, help you be able to forget about your past. Because I said it, this has been eating at me for a year. And everyone works in their own different ways. But I know you'll be able to find that push so you can really forget about the past. Forget about the ones that hurt you, the ones that mentally hurt you, physically hurted you. You'll find it. I know it's not going to happen in a day. I know it's not going to happen in a week or a month or maybe even a year, but from heart to heart, I know you'll be able to get over that big hump that has been stopping you. And I want you to know that me talking about my story has helped me get over my hump that I've been dealing with for a year. So this person's no longer relevant in my head. And may God just show them the right way.
Well, I want y'all to understand that I'm about to close this book in my chapter been dealing with for 6 years. And it's been a very, very toxic piece in my heart and my mind ever since it happened. When you're trying to be there for that person and they just don't want to listen and they'll try to blame you for their shenanigans, it can really take a toll on you to knowing that you'll be confused, just like, okay, what happened? Like, what did I do in that circumstances? But they can't take accountability of their actions, of excuse my language, what the fuck they did. And they can't understand it till shit really hits the fan to really make them understand it. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, when back in the past of mine that I was always scared about people, how they feel about me, and when they say shit behind my back and stuff like that. I cared. And then it took me out. Well, it took me like about another 5 years to really understand, like, dude, I don't care about what people say. I don't care what people say about my life or anything. It's not your life. It's mine. It's mine. Like, you don't have the audacity to talk about my life to other people, to satisfy for you to see my downfall. Like, I was there for people, and I get betrayed over some dumb shit. But I just let it go. But now I can finally get this shit off my damn chest to literally just close this chapter for good, let that irrelevant person out of my motherfucking mind, to always try to act like they care but they don't care, which really in reality they're a piece of shit. I'm gonna say that from my heart. I've been through so much shit in my life that particular person made me so like a person I never was. It really fucked with me, and I don't like that. And I'm sorry for yelling though, but this is how I really, really fucking feel and shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, you really tried to ruin my shit. Like, you really tried. And you failed. Like, you failed big time. And you try to say that I took the biggest L and shit. Nah, I didn't took the biggest L. I just came from the bottom and worked my way up to the top and shit. I had to put my foot down and work every single day to get what the fuck I am today. It's not hard. I hate when people always think it's easy. It's not easy out here. It's just not. You guys never had a life lesson, or y'all never hit rock bottom to experience. Not just me, to everybody here that experienced rock bottom. it really sickens me to really people think that they never wrong. Like, really? So you think you perfect 24/7 every single day and you never had a damn problem your damn life? It's a bunch of bullshit, though, to be honest. And it's just like, it really fucked with me. And I just always want to say this. I don't wish nothing on people. I just want that, like, negativity out of my life. I'm just focusing on the past, moving forward. That's all I care about. You know, like I said, when I was down and out, this was always this particular person that was there for me all the damn time. Never changed. Even when I went through my darkest times, that particular person was there for me every single day and night, making sure I was okay, making sure my mental health was okay, everything. You want to know what that person is? That man sitting right there in the middle. Yeah. You see him. He was there for me every single time. Every time. So you people that took advantage of him, y'all should be ashamed of your damn self. Because this man, he's something. He could really change your life with the snap of a finger. And y'all didn't have the time to get to know him. It's just, it really, really pains my heart that this man did every single day to somebody to try to help somebody out. And he literally is a guardian angel in my life. The first time I met him in 4th grade, I didn't have no friends. He was the only friend I had in elementary. Nobody gave a damn about me. I was big. I was getting fat shamed, everything. He was there for me. And he's still here today. While we doing this podcast, we went through all this shit, and he's been there for me every single time. And to be betrayed, he was there. It was personal. He was there. To the times I fucked up, he yelled at me because he cares. If he didn't care, he wouldn't have done all that shit. But that's what I'm saying. Please appreciate the people that you see is real. Do not take advantage of that person. It will come bite you in the ass and you won't even know it. I'm telling you, don't do that, because down the road, it's going to be really, really fucked up. You're going to have regrets like, damn, I don't think I should have done that. That's people don't understand. They never understand that shit. And that's why he's not like a brother. He's family to me. Like, he's dead-ass family to me. Like, I just want him to personally know that face to face that you're dead ass family to me. I really want you to know that shit. My parents love you. Everybody that's close to my family loves you, man. It just sickens me that people will take advantage of him. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? It makes no sense. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I keep pausing. I keep stuttering. But this is really coming to my heart, and I'm feeling a little bit much better because this been hurting me for 5+ years. And like I said, all the viewers out there that's listening and watching, if you're going through some of this, please take the time. Do you have real friends? Talk to them. If there's something bother you, like they always tell me, speak up. We don't know what's going on in your mind. Just talk. If it's really something serious, go to a real person, like a real group. Don't go to somebody that thinks that they're your friend and then they go tell other people. That's another red flag that you should also watch out, because even you're like in high school, middle school, that's another thing you got to worry about, because not everybody's your friend. Not everybody's your friend, because they can say that you are, but really they're not. So if you're going to do something like that, it's okay. We all been through that. You will find peace at the end of the road. I promise you that. It's going to be okay.
Your biggest fan is a stranger, and then your biggest enemy is somebody you know. But I appreciate those words, Jordan. That kind of took me, caught my breath a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it just came from the heart, because I've been holding that in since we became friends. Like I always thought he was like being an ass, but no, he really care. like he does care. Like will take the time. If there's something really emergency, he'll drop everything and come see me right away. And not just him, everybody else here will drop everything, come see me, see what's up, make sure I'm good, and then we go back our separate ways. Or if we ever meet up and stuff. Like, these guys really truly care. It's like, if you have a group of people like us, you will be fine. I promise you that. You will be fine. All the other people that's outside of that, fuck them. Like, what's something that they have something that's holding on to you that you just can't tell them, like, why are you even in my life? Like, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. Just leave. Because what if they got something to benefit you in the future? That's what I always tell people. And they can't seem to answer that, and that's why they're always stuck from that. And they can't find an answer till years later they realize, I should have listened to you, but I wasn't thinking straight at that time. Yeah, so...
Basically, we all have a story about our pasts that we've been holding on. And we know that you guys as well have a past that you hold on and you try to let it go as well. It's not easy. You can still feel the pain from it. You can still feel the decisions that you made through it. It's never easy. But you try to move on knowing that your past wasn't really that great. It's basically, I want to say it's like a tree. It has so many roots to it. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to still be there. It could fall off like a leaf, but your past will still be there haunting you. But if you actually stay focused on something that you can ease your way out of it, to not think about it, then whatever that thing is, even if it's just reading a book or just talking to somebody who you really trust about, anything was happening in your life or who you really feel comfortable with, that would probably be the best way to forget about your past. You can even write it down in a notebook, write about what's bothering you, how you trying to solve it, what's the steps to try to get rid of it, Not saying that it's going to be easy steps, because it's never anything easy out here, But long as you actually do something to try to look forward and not think about the past, then you'll be all right.
When it comes to letting go, I was doing some brainstorming. So I thought of something to really help out when it comes to letting go. First things first is when you have to accept that it happened. You can't move forward without acceptance. So first things first, when you learn to accept this just happened, that's number one. Number two is, how are you going to go about it next? You got to plan your next move. What's something I could do to make sure I'm still going to be mentally intact, I'm going to be healthy or physically intact, no matter the certain circumstances. If it's with somebody or something you did, you got to be able to plan, and then you got to execute that plan. After that, you never look back. Sure, it's going to be there. Yes, our past, unfortunately, it cannot leave us. It's always going to be there. However, you can move away from it. You just never look back. If you continue to look back, it'll grab a hold of you, right? And it'll pull you with it. Think about it with friendships, you could look back, let's say you did something wrong, or if they did something wrong. Okay. You accept that it happened. How am I going to move forward past this? All right, I'm going to do this. I'll never look back on it. Because I say, if you look back on certain things in the past, you could tend to relapse. You'll be thinking maybe I did something really bad. Maybe I should go back to it. No. The past is the past for a reason. It stays behind you.
Exactly. Right? And you don't want it to repeat itself, basically.
You walk past it. I know. Really fast. Keep moving forward. It'll also cause you unnecessary stress. Like how, for example, these two, they did hold on to the past with these certain people, right? Now they're planning on moving forward past it. They just have to execute, and they have to just never look back. And then it's been eating at them. Jordan said it's been eating at you for 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oscar, it's been eating at you for a year, right? It's causing unnecessary stress.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done, yes, because nothing's ever easy nowadays. It's really hard. It's all about continuing to, like, it's about continuing and staying dedicated to what you said that you were going to do. If you say you're going to move past it, if you're going to say, like, I'm going to close this chapter, stick to your word. Do not betray yourself. You go back, you're going back on your own word, you're going to betray yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel the hurt.
True.
You know, not everything's going to happen momentarily. Like, you know, you make that decision. You can't say in the heat of the moment, like, oh, yes, this is going to be great. Sometimes you could, sometimes some people do. They'd be like, okay, this is great. And then they go about their lives. But for most people, it takes a lot of time. Like y'all said, can't be in a week. It could be a week. It could be in, like, you know, a month, a year, maybe more than a year. But it will happen. And if you stay on that path, you will see the fruits of the growth. If you just continue to stay, as you continue to stay locked in, keep going.
Yeah. You got to remember, too, is that don't let your past be your finish of your story. Because your past is not the actual ending of your story. Your story is still continuing. Even though that your past is holding on to you and you holding on to it, you still got to keep on moving.
I look at the past as the beginning.
Exactly. Your past is basically the beginning, and now you're continuing. You know, you don't know what's going to happen next, but that's the mystery about that.
It's like reading a book.
Exactly. You know, what's going to be interesting the next day or the week, you know, the months. You could run into a whole bunch of new people without even actually knowing them. You could have the same kind of things that you like, you know. You just don't let your past stop you from actually doing what you need to do, you know. You got to guide yourself out of that. Like we said, it's not easy, you know, because there's still attachments there, you know, what's holding you back, you know, but you just got to keep on moving.
Yeah, you don't got to give up to let go.
Exactly. You know, it's just one of those things where when you talk about your past, it's like you remember everything, you know, and then you start thinking again about what you don't want to do now from that time. And it's just crazy because when you think about it, you're like, man, why did I start thinking about this, you know? Like, what brought me back to the past and everything? And then you start thinking about, because you're still around those people that you still see, you know, who was part of your past. Even if they was toxic or they brought chaos to you or some kind of certain bad vibes to you, you know, you're still around them because you're going to see them because they probably still in your area, you know. So then your past comes back and be like, oh, you remember this and that. You're going to run into your past a whole bunch of times, you know. You're going to run into people who you don't want to really run into, you know. But it's the actual moment of when you do run into them, what are you going to do at that time and point, you know? Are you going to walk away because you see them, even though that you know that you got to go that way? Or you're going to build that courage that you have, and even though that they did something to you in the past, you're going to show them that I'm stronger now. And I'm not afraid to walk past you, knowing what you did to me. Because right now, I'm thinking about what's right now, not about what my past is. And even though that you was in my past, I'm not going to let you stop me from doing the things that I really want to do out here. You don't pay my bills. You don't help me pay my car. And you don't help me with anything else that is important what I got to do. And that's how I see it. So I'm gonna let my past really be the past. I worry about the now, because at the end of the day, right now, it's about me and not the actual person who I left in the past.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of still a little bit, lost of words. This has been a very quiet, at least episode for me, nonetheless. Normally I'm the one that's, kind of the chatterbox and has got a lot to say. But
It's hard. Can't blame you. Like we just said, it's not gonna be easy.
no. But at some point you'll find it. You'll figure it out. You'll find a way to maneuver around things. I know it's not going to be easy for me still to maneuver, but I know at some point, like, I'm going to get it done. But it's not going to be a long process to get it done. Like, I kind of want to get this done, at least for me, by next month. Because there's no reason why I should be holding it on, or at least thinking about getting rid of it in a few months. I want to get rid of it by next month, and that's my goal to myself, what I'm going to do, or at least what I need to do. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of very lost on words for this episode.
Nah, you good. You said what you needed to say. You was telling us everything that you had on your chest, basically. And you let it off of you because it was stressing you. And you felt like you needed to say it, tell your side of the story about your past.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, for me, I'm sorry that I usually go off. I did, but just this particular episode is just, I can't let that person win. It's been in me alive for 5+ years, and I was basically the villain, which I really wasn't. And it's just everybody was following that person, just a bunch of dummies. But at the end of the day, it's gonna take time, to pass. If it's something serious, it's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen just like that. But if anybody's that's going through that, just take your time. Don't let people rush you to think that, oh, it's gonna be okay. They don't know that because you're not in their shoes, or you're not knowing how it feels or how it was experienced back then. They don't know. So don't listen to people like that, please.
What I could say is that you cannot rush growth.
Yeah, no.
You gotta take it slow, and you gotta move at your own pace.
Yeah. And don't let your past stop you for whatever you're trying to do now. If you let it stop you, then you're gonna let it hold you. And it's already been holding you for a long time. So don't let it hold you for now. You got a lot of big things that you're trying to do. Just make sure that you move forward from that. Let your past be the energy to move forward, to keep on pushing yourself. Don't let it hold on to you. I know it could be painful. You might have painful moments or situations that are really hurtful and everything. But you gotta move on the best way you can.
There are gonna be times where you think about it, because we always think. But then you have to remember this, though. You gotta remember who you are and why you're here now. What made you do this? Think about it a lot. I think about it almost every day.
Just push forward. Because this is very hard for me. This is this was a hard pill for me to swallow. You know, they try to take my dignity away. They try to take a lot of things away from me. And, you know, long story short, they wanted to use Jordan against me, and basically at some point get to Shamir, get to Javante, and basically take over what I was trying to create, what I was starting to build. But that didn't happen. Because I said this in the past, and I said, you know, the loyalty is there, and loyalty above all. But this person can no longer do anything that is gonna stop me. But now I can accept by you seeing me as the villain. I'm glad. Because if anything, now you made me stronger. You made me better. You made me wiser. You know, you put more strength into me. You know? You said I never cared. You said I never wanted to talk to you when things hit. But the funny thing is you wanted to only tell one part of the story. You never gave the full story. So, for you to say, I wasn't there, I didn't care, I had no emotion. At one point, maybe I did. You know, long story short, you know, I had an accident a couple of years ago. And this accident was when I had a concussion. I hit my head on one of those old school radiator heaters. And I will never forget, my mom told me that she was on the phone with my stepdad, and he even heard the loud bang when my head made impact. And I know ever since then, I know I've never been the same. You know, I have speech problems. You know, I struggle trying to speak sometimes. And it frustrates me. And sometimes it's worse, especially when you're talking to your boss and out of nowhere it just happens, and then you feel like you're the fool in the moment. But I know that concussion, it really took a very, very high impact in me mentally. Because there are just things that I honest to God, I can't remember. And I know my emotion changed. And then obviously with my past work history, I know that also changed me. But in some shape or form, I'm trying to do better. I know it's not going to happen in, you know, a day or two or a month. This has been a couple year process for me. And I'm accepting that. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. Excuse me. But I know I'm gonna get there. Because I have the power of my uncle. I have the power of my great-grandmother, who I miss very dearly. And that person, in my family, we would call her, you know, she was our Nana kitty cat. And then to my uncle, you know, like, I know what I'm doing now is I'm making them proud. And I'm just going to continue to elevate myself and getting stronger and getting better. You know, each time I whether I'm, you know, I'm talking about them or thinking about them, it makes me weak and it makes me emotional. But my actions are strong. I may fall on my ass, but just best believe I'm getting right back up. You can knock me down once, you can knock me down twice, you can knock me down as many times as you want. I'm gonna get back up. And I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna give up. My passion and my dedication to what I've started, I put too much thought and, you know, love into it to just give up. You know, my parents wouldn't want to see me give up. I know my two relatives in heaven wouldn't want to see me give up. And I most certainly would not want to give up because I have an amazing, adorable, beautiful little sister that I adore so much. And there are going to be times that you're going to hear stories where we're just talking, you know, very low. And, you know, for me, when I'm talking about my feelings, I don't, you know, talk loud. I kind of talk quiet and a little, you know, subtle. You know, some people, you know, for example, like Jordan, you know, he talks, you know, when he's getting to letting his heart speak, you know, it's loud. You know, it's going to be heard. All of us, we have our own different coping mechanisms that work for us. His may be loud, mine is quiet. We all have our own unique, different ways. And, you know, they are gifts. We were born with gifts and we should not look away from them, but look to them. Because our gifts can go a long way and, you know, solidify your legacy for who you are. Because I know my legacy has only begun and, yeah. I'll let you guys take the floor now.
Like I said, during that time I was dealing with that person, I was going through some... During that time, because my grandfather was very sick, and that particular person, we was going through some shit, and he kept fucking around with me, and then I was dealing with that shit. I was so depressed, and then, you know, the death of my grandfather, and then my aunts, and then my grandmother, who I miss every single day. I miss all three of them. And I know they're watching, I know they're listening right now to tell them I love you. I miss you so much. I just want to tell y'all I love you, and I hope you're proud of me. I'm trying to keep that legacy going, but that particular person trying to ruin me, and I don't know why, but I let it happen. But years later, I'm thinking about it. Like, I should let that happen. It's just like, there's some things you want, like, you regret, but you can't go back and fix it. You just gotta start a new chapter, close that door, open a new one, and try not to make that same mistake again. Because, like, I'm gonna say it again, I was the weak link back then, but now I'm a different breed. I'm stronger. I'm more mentally stronger in mindset, and I am the best. I can't say I'm the greatest all the time just yet, but I am the best. Ain't nobody telling me that I'm not. Because I have the desire and hunger to be the best at what I'm doing. Right now, to be a podcaster, but most definitely be a graphic and being a better human being. For myself, for my family, to the boys here, to everybody that loves me. And that's all I'm going to say.
They say things happen for a reason, and that you just don't see the reason in the moment, but eventually your eyes will open up and you'll see that there was a gift in the end. Like, yeah, in the moment it sucked, shit was tragic, whatever, but you'll see, like, it was worth it. It'll make you a better person in the end.
Everything happens for a reason, and God removes things for a reason. When he removes people from your life, he's heard conversations that you haven't. I saw this video once and it said, you catch your friend talking shit about you in the moment, and then you laugh it off. No. How many times have they talked about you when you weren't even around? Just that one time you caught them, and it's just a joke. Just remember, this is a cruel world that we live in. Each time you step outside, picture it, not literally, but figuratively, each step you take outside, it's like a landmine outside. You don't know whether one landmine is safe or one is ready to just detonate. Each step you take out in the real world, it's just a risk each day. Sometimes I keep in the back of my mind, and this is true, sometimes I say, God willing, I hope I make it back home tonight. Because you don't know what's going to happen when you're out there. You don't know if you're going to be able to have the chance to come back home. But it's just real life. It's just the real world that we live in. You could be stuck somewhere in a bad time. Maybe sometimes now I understand why my mother said, being out late, what's the point? There's no good out there. You're going to get stuck at the wrong time. And then before you know it, sometimes it could be just too late.
Yeah, shit is hard. And honestly, your faith is what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Faith, passion, dedication, honesty to yourself, being humble to yourself, saying kind words to yourself, not hurtful words, just kindful words, words that that will help you get out through the door and start your day at ease. Obviously, other people's bullshit comes along the way. Sometimes you just have to deal with that. Sometimes their life may not be great, and they're just taking that frustration out on you. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But it's just real shit. It's just real life. It's just real. It's just real human, contact right there. But I know, the episode is now coming to an end. I just want to say thank you from at least right at the moment, you know, from my story and from Jordan's story, you know, it takes a little bit of a lesson to at least not a lesson, but at least it helps you be able to let go of that one person that has been stopping you, even if you're no longer in contact or communication with them. You know, let our story of our past help you move forward and forgetting those that hurt you physically, mentally, everything. Even if they were also even trying to take credit of your own work. You know, their history now in your story. Just like now, they're a history in my story. They're no longer relevant in my story. They're no longer important in my story. You know, my biggest enemy, I'll never wish anything bad upon them. The only thing I'll say is, you know, may God just watch over you and just protect you. But at the end of the day, you know, God don't like ugly. And when you do ugly, karma comes around. I'm just going to continue minding my own P's and Q's and living my life to the fullest. My story doesn't end until I find my beloved horizon. And then when I find my horizon, then I can officially say, you know, my story's over. And then these guys will also have their stories done as well. But listen, we thank you for tuning into episode 2. And we look forward to speaking with you guys again for the 3rd one. Have a good night. As always, we're the ones, and it's up to you to make the difference.